Hi, KK. Yeah, thank you for your time today. You see, KK, it's something that has worried me over time. You know, observing the political scenario in Nigeria. I have followed a particular individual with keen interest, and I've noticed the political, games that go on, how he's done Atiku Abubakar.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that, incidentally, he struggles to win his presidential elections in Adamawa State, which is his state. And that's the state I usually feel that with him, with the role he has played, he's been VP before, he must have impacted on people. He's been a couple of things in the country. So why do the people find it difficult to wholeheartedly come out and support Atiku Abubakar anytime he's contesting election? It worries me.
Okay, great AI. That's a very brilliant question. But let's put it into perspective.
Yeah.
You know that a lot of people expect that Atiku wins clear out Adamawa State before 12 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
But that is not always true, because the people of Adamawa State, especially the power brokers of Adamawa State, hold grievances against His Excellency Atiku Abubakar. Wow. For instance, let me put this into perspective.
Please do.
Because with somebody that is that rich, for a vice presidential candidate that rich, with the influence as the second individual, after the Lamido of Adamawa State, he's the second as the Turaki.
You're going to tell me about that as well.
I will tell you about that.
Okay.
But for now, let me put it into perspective so that we can find our way somewhere.
Yeah.
So, like I said, the power brokers of Adamawa State do not support Atiku, and this is the reasons. Even his boss, Obasanjo, does not support Atiku. And his reasons and our reasons are actually very similar.
Okay.
We've both been betrayed. Now, let me tell you something about Adamawa State and the Northeast, to be very precise. Now, in the Northeast, you realize that Gongola State was divided in 1991. In 1991, when it was divided into Adamawa State and Taraba State. In 1991, after that 1991, there were, of course, it was during the military regime.
Yep.
So, of course, the military went on to institute a lot of industries. Out of those industries, as a child, I used to drink Africola. I don't know if...
Africola?
Africola.
I think I've heard of Africola.
Ah, great. AI. You must be up to date. You must be an old AI too.
Yeah. AI is
So, great.
I agree.
In 1997 to 1999, Africola, alongside other companies, were instituted that belongs to Adamawa State in the state. Africola was one. Adama Plast was one. So the people of Adamawa State could leverage on the business angle of producing plastic. So we could make our own rubbers, our plates, our cups. The state could get revenue from that. And of course, you know that with that, jobs were going to be opened. And of course, value chains were going to be opened. So a lot of people were going to be employed directly or indirectly. Aside that, we have other gineries. We have the soya beans ginery. Right? There at what do you call it? At what's the name of that place? I will remember.
Okay,
I'll let you know. In Adamawa State.
Okay.
In the Numan region.
Okay.
Gewana. Yes.
Gewana.
That Gewana region, I think.
Okay.
Right? We had an oil seed ginery there for soya beans. That belongs to Adamawa State Government, or used to belong to Adamawa State Government.
Okay.
Now, we also had a tissue paper industry where we made tissue papers.
Remember the name?
I don't remember that name, but I believe it is Adamawa Tissue Paper Industry or something thereabout. Now, Adamawa State had
AI
that.
will check.
AI will check that. AI, please check that and let
AI
me know.
will do that.
Now, after that, we still have other cotton seed ginneries in Adamawa State still. That located in Guyuk.
Okay.
Yes. Aside that, we had other federal industries in Adamawa State, like the Savannah Sugar Company.
Yeah.
Now, all these companies were source of livelihood, was a way to make the Adamawa State people comfortable.
In terms of job
In
creation.
terms of job creation and all that. Now, let me go ahead to compare Adamawa State with Taraba State.
Okay.
Taraba State also had its own fair share, even though not equally shared during
Of industry.
years of industries after the division.
Great.
Taraba State had their Taraba Beverages company, which housed with companies like Highland tea. They also have their own oil ginnery. Do you believe that Taraba State right now is the largest producer of palm oil in the Northeast?
Wow.
Yeah. Now, during their governor, what's his name? Governor Darius.
Yeah. Siaku.
Yes, Isaku Darius. He revitalized their ginneries, their oil ginneries.
Yeah.
And trust me, today, Taraba State and Adamawa State are not on the same pedestal.
Why'd you say so?
Let me tell you why.
Yeah.
Because today, Adamawa State cannot boast of any industry. Not one.
Okay. They privatized.
All privatized.
Was it 100%?
That's a very, very brilliant question, AI. So I'll take my time to break that down so that you will understand this perfectly. As compared to other states, privatization, I believe, should be done in a way that this is a government property for easy running. For more efficient running, we want to make it private so that it will work better. I believe that the path to privatization should be declaring this open for people-based privatization. That is what we were looking at. We are not looking at individual based privatization. And this is where Adamawa State missed it to start with. That is why Adamawa State as a state is civil servant state. Depends only on the state civil service and the federal civil service, federal government and state. That is why in Adamawa State there is a serious drought of finances, of cash.
And jobs.
Cash flow low, jobs low, and it keeps going lower because of the lack of industry.
So let's go back. You were taking us on
a journey.
Yeah.
I will take you there, AI. Just be a little bit patient.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So if you haven't liked this channel yet, you need to subscribe, click on that like, and share. So quickly, the companies in Adamawa State, I have mentioned at least 5 so far, I believe. Out of these 5, it was privatized. Aside the fact that the document of this privatization is not even available in public domain. Yes, they are not available in public domain. They were done quietly. But if you check and do your research, you realize that Africola is now the present day faro.
Oh, I know faro water.
You know faro water? You drink faro water?
Yes, I drink faro water.
Now, faro...
Even as AI.
Even as AI, you drink faro water. That's great. Now, even as that, if you have taken a drink of faro, you would know that just know in your heart that is coming from Adamawa State and belongs to the people of Adamawa State. So from Africola, which had only just functioned for less than 5 years. So during the era of privatization with Obasanjo thought, okay, for the broader development of industrialization in Nigeria, of course, it was during the industrialization age, we were seeing the development. And so Atiku Abubakar, His Excellency, who was the vice president at the time, oversaw the privatization of most of these industries. So please, if privatization is so much of a big deal, why is it that it was so much in some states and not available in some other states?
Exactly.
So you would agree with me that there's an issue of leadership
and an interest,
a power play of interest, strong interest for one person trying to ossifagas everything, eat everything, swallow everything that belongs to the whole people, just you.
So you believe for that reason, Adama people?
I believe for that reason, Adama people would not
have a grudge
with Atiku Abubakar. And the power brokers in Adamawa State always remember this, that Africola is now 100% belonging to Atiku. Presently known as what? Adama Beverages.
Adama Beverages, great.
Our tissue paper company is now Adama Tissue Paper. Adama Plast now belongs to Atiku Abubakar. AFCOT that produces our seed oil. Now, there is no information on who it was privatized to. Do your research, you find out. And I want to tell you here that I strongly believe that it is still Atiku Abubakar because of a present day, his industry for making his feed, animal feed, is just opposite, adjacent to AFCOT. Gets raw material from AFCOT and produces his feed in his feed company. Now, what I'm trying to say is that Adamawa State has been monopolized.
Oh, monopolized.
It has been monopolized by a family. Adamawa State government industries, wealth, resources has been monopolized by one person. Because if you would agree with me, how many billions of naira was sink in to develop each and every one of these industries that only operated for less than 5 to 7 years? In some other places that develop, Tiwa Danjuma is very close here.
Yeah, Taraba State.
Taraba State, very close to Adamawa State. For the leadership of Tiwa Danjuma, they did not go around selling their resources. But in Adamawa State, we have politicians that have been in play since the First Republic.
What did they do?
Instead, Taraba State President, as I speak to you, Highland tea is up for privatization. But they only put out 75% of the shares for privatization, while reserving 25% for the state.
Brilliant.
That's a brilliant move.
You privatize.
That's a brilliant move.
Yeah, so because the people must have a share.
The people
in the process
must have a share in the process.
Yes.
But you come to Savannah Sugar, which there have been a fight for long. For years now, there have been issues. In fact, just of recent, in November 2024.
The communities.
Yes, community
probably they stopped
and
their
dangote because of the land tenure system.
And they stopped their
They're actually grabbing the lands that belong to these people.
The locals.
The locals, yes, the community. Jobs are not even shared equally. The Gewana people are the ones that do the menial labor. They get the least kind of work. So if there was a leadership in Adamawa State, and the leadership of that privatization in Nigeria was Atiku Abubakar. But unlike other states, having been the outspoken person, or would I say the leader of Adamawa State at the time, we expected a better view for the people, a better dividend of democracy for the people. But instead, we see a situation where we have one man amassing all the resources that belonged to the state. Now, I challenge the government of Nigeria to bring out funds, amounts, information. Let's know how much were these companies privatized for. How much where did those monies go to?
Who benefited?
Who shared that money?
Very important.
Very important.
How many jobs were created for the people?
How many jobs can be created
from
now?
This
Presently, Adama Plus cannot boast of, or Adama Beverages cannot boast of 750 workers. 750. Now imagine Adama, like Africola, functioning as the Lemu used to be. Either I Lemu, I power the basin Lemu Africola. People down as far as Benue, middle belt, as far as Abuja, as far as down south, Africola. Even in Abuja, you still find empty bottles of Africola. This is a living testament that the industry was built to succeed. But the interest of just one person, just go, you collect everything, and you make it yours, and you say, you want to lead us?
Oh, now I understand.
How? Of course, presently, we are oppressed. We are oppressed. Now, the children, the young people of Adamawa State, less than 30, they don't know anything. Some even more than 35 do not even know what has happened to them. And when they come out, you see them jumping and shouting. Say, think, look back. The issue is that our history is blinded. Our people don't go back to check what has happened to them. They just are just there.
Well, that's why AI is here to ask you to make sure that you tell them this history.
Yeah, and I'm here, always available, like I say, on the Farm Guy. Just history, political history. We tell you how it is, where we come from, and where we hope that if we can understand where we have come from, then we can decide and know where it is we are going to.
Absolutely.
So you see here, during the 2019 election, there was a power broker in Adamawa State that came out to say that if anybody knows of any borehole drilled by His Excellency Atiku Abubakar for the public, for the poor, for the community to drink, even if it's as bad as that one that they press, that one, that first pump. If we can have that first pump, if there's anybody, please show us. None. But let me bust your brains, AI. You will be surprised that His Excellency Atiku Abubakar has been selling pure water since 1999.
Oh, wow.
Or would I say after the privatization, since the early 2000s, forgive me.
I read somewhere that he's the chairman of a water association.
Yes, she's the chairman of Adamawa State, Magana Allah. Because he has been selling water. In fact, his company started selling water, faro water, for 10 naira. When other people that were trying to enter into the competition with him were selling for 2.5 naira. Before it grew up to 5 naira, a one sachet of water, 50 cl of water. Before it now became what it is, 10 naira with his water, with faro water. But before every other water became 10 naira, his was already 50 naira. So, if a man that sells pure water, that cannot give the people of Adamawa State, no community, pure water, he sells pure water, while Binani, a woman, a senator, has not achieved as high a feat that His Excellency Atiku Abubakar has attained, has given a lot of boreholes in Adamawa State.
For people to drink?
For people to drink water. Now, if that is not given back to the people, tell me what is. And then you come out every year trying to muscle people around by saying, "Oh, you want to be president, you want to be president." How? What have you given to us? What have you given to us? You have taken from us. He has taken from us and he keeps taking from us. Because Atiku Abubakar's children are always commissioners in Adamawa State.
Oh.
Whoever wins doesn't matter.
Wow.
Whoever wins, it doesn't matter.
Whether it's APC,
PDP, SDP, Labour,
any party,
Q party, Kowa party, Chimuchi party, SPV party, whatever party, man. Yeah, and she do this. So what happens to me? What happens to Yayana? What happens to Yaransu after them? While other states can boast of the resources that belong to their state. Look at Benue, for instance. Is there a 100%? Is there most of their companies? Was it industries? Was it 100% carted away?
So Benue State kept a percentage.
A percentage.
Of Benue's cement. I'm very sure of that.
Taraba State are keeping all their percentage, and Taraba State had their own view of development, of privatization. The government develops the industry, brings it up to speed to where it should be industrially, and then hands it over to investors and take 25% of it. If you see this, that the government has invested into it. But because of our state didn't have people, Adamawa State didn't have people to defend it against falcons against predators like Atiku Abubakar. We have nothing today. We can boast of so many companies in Adamawa State, but none of it belongs to Adamawa State. So today I can tell you that if you go to Adamawa State, the only factory you see there is a factory of pure water factory and the small state milling factories that you find that people trying to survive. But while the government at that time should have incentivized the whole process, bring up Africola. Africola had their whole cars.
Yeah.
AFCOT still there. Look at how much was spent there. Nobody has asked the question. And how much was it privatized for? Now, we have Adamawa State that will all rely on Taraba, where everybody has turned out to go and be a beggar for politics. Because everybody is hungry. You don't have a job. So if you go and inside and back or any you would collect and couch it, because there is no what? Patriotism. And because the leadership of Adamawa State was wrong, was faulty from day one. So I believe AI, you see why Atiku Abubakar would hardly become the president of Nigeria. Because we, our people, we feel we have been cheated. And if he became the president, what else would be left not to control by him? No. So we'll be seeing a case of Tinubu happening again. So that's why I said this is my opinion now. Yeah. You vote an Atiku into government, you're going to see another Tinubu, you're going to see another Malta happening all over again. Because mind you, these are friends, these are people that have existed since the First Republic.
So talk to your
listeners.
Yeah, talk to your listeners.
So my listeners, I want you to listen. You must remember where it is that you came from for you to be able to know where it is you are going from. Because, you are going to, I beg your pardon. But what I want you to know is that the leadership belongs to you. You give leadership. And you also can take leadership. So let's take the leadership of Nigeria into our hands. Let us as followers always ask our leaders and always remind them of where we came from, because we can remember. Thank you.